Alright, let's talk about something every football fan dreads, watching their favorite players slowly fade from their prime. It's never easy, is it? You've spent years cheering them on, celebrating their goals, and defending them against rival fans, but eventually, time catches up. In this video, we're diving into the careers of 7 legendary footballers who, based on recent performances, might be nearing the end of their journey. Now, we're not here to bash anyone, far from it. These players have given us countless unforgettable moments, and we're forever grateful. But sometimes, stepping away at the right time is just as important as everything they've achieved on the pitch. From midfield maestros to unstoppable strikers, we're looking at players whose best days might just be behind them. Are we being too harsh? Maybe. Or maybe it's just time to make room for the next generation of stars to shine. Stick around and let us know what you think. Should they retire, or do they have one more season left in them? Let's kick things off with the first name on our list, someone who's been a rock in midfield for years. You ready? Let's go. İlkay Gündoğan, a name synonymous with midfield mastery, has been a pivotal figure for clubs like Borussia Dortmund, Manchester City, and Barcelona. His vision, passing accuracy, and knack for scoring crucial goals have made him indispensable. However, at 34, Gündoğan's recent performances suggest that the relentless demands of top-tier football are beginning to take their toll. After a season with Barcelona, where he contributed significantly, Gündoğan returned to Manchester City in August 2024 on a one-year contract. His return was timely, especially with City's midfield facing challenges due to injuries. Despite his experience, Gündoğan has struggled to consistently replicate his previous high standards. In a recent match against Liverpool, City's midfield, including Gündoğan, was outplayed, highlighting physical mismatches against younger opponents. Internationally, Gündoğan captained Germany during Euro 2024, leading by example with goals and assists. However, in August 2024, he announced his retirement from international football, marking the end of a significant chapter in his career. Gündoğan's legacy is adorned with league titles, domestic cups, and a Champions League triumph. His leadership and clutch performances have been instrumental in his team's successes, yet the physical demands of elite football are unyielding, and even the most gifted players face the inevitable decline. Considering his recent form and the emergence of younger talents, it might be an opportune moment for Gündoğan to contemplate retirement. This decision would allow him to preserve the esteemed legacy he has built over the years. Stepping away now would enable fans to remember him at his peak rather than witnessing a gradual decline. In conclusion, while Gündoğan's contributions to football are undeniable, the current phase of his career suggests that retiring after this season could be a dignified and strategic choice. It would honor his achievements and set the stage for the next generation of midfield maestros to emerge. Next on the list is Kyle Walker, a player who has defined consistency and athleticism for over a decade. Whether for Manchester City or the England national team, Walker has been a cornerstone of every defense he's played in. But at 34, the cracks are beginning to show. His game, which heavily relied on his blistering pace and recovery ability, doesn't have the same edge anymore. Walker's performances this season have been mixed, and the 2024 Euros were a tough watch for his fans. Costly mistakes and an inability to keep up with younger, faster attackers raised eyebrows, especially in key matches. His performance against Liverpool this season is a prime example. 11 times losing possession, including one crucial error that led directly to a goal. It's not the Walker we've come to expect. Still, there's no denying his incredible legacy. Walker has played a significant role in Manchester City's domestic and European dominance. His adaptability under Pep Guardiola, transitioning into hybrid roles between center-back and right-back, speaks volumes about his intelligence and work ethic. But these same tactical shifts have exposed gaps in his game, especially as his physical attributes begin to wane. Walker recently extended his contract with City until 2026, a sign of faith from the club. But this raises a dilemma. Can he maintain the level of performance City demands, or is it time for him to bow out on a high? His tenure at the club has been marked by countless trophies, including multiple Premier League titles and a Champions League win. It's a career most players can only dream of. Perhaps retirement isn't the only option. Walker could transition to a mentoring role, helping younger players like Rico Lewis grow into their potential. But as a player, stepping away now while he's still respected and celebrated might be the right move. It's a difficult decision for any player, especially one with Walker's track record. What's certain is that his impact on the game will be remembered, whether he chooses to hang up his boots this season or fight on for a bit longer. One thing's for sure, he's earned the right to decide on his own terms. Let's move on to Christian Eriksen, a player whose journey back to football after his heart scare has been nothing short of inspirational. At 32, Eriksen has shown flashes of his old brilliance at Manchester United, but there's a growing sense that his time at the top might be winding down. While his technical skills remain sharp, the game around him is evolving, and United's new direction under Ruben Amorim seems to demand a level of intensity that Eriksen isn't built for anymore. This season, Eriksen's moments of impact have been sporadic, and with the squad shifting towards a younger, more dynamic style, it feels like he's becoming less central to the team's plans. Add to that the fact that his contract runs until 2025, 35 and there's no talk of an extension, retirement might not be such a far-fetched idea. Look, Eriksen's comeback has already defied the odds and he has nothing left to prove. Retiring on his own terms rather than fading into a reduced role could be the perfect way for him to cap off a remarkable career. What do you think? Should Eriksen step aside now and make way for the next generation, or does he still have a role to play? Let us know. Now, let's dive into one of the most polarizing names on this list, Cristiano Ronaldo. At 39, Ronaldo is still pushing boundaries and breaking records, most recently surpassing the 900 goal mark for club and country. Yet the question isn't about what he's achieved, it's whether the time has come for him to step aside. Physically, Ronaldo remains in incredible shape, but football isn't just about fitness. His trademark explosive pace has diminished, making it harder for him to beat defenders as he once did. At the 2024 Euros, this was glaring. He went 5 games without scoring, and his overall contribution to Portugal's campaign was underwhelming. For a player who has built his reputation on being decisive, that's a tough pill to swallow. With the next World Cup 2 years away, Ronaldo would be 41. A point at which few outfield players remain competitive at the highest level. His presence in the Portugal squad is still commanding, but it arguably stifles the emergence of younger talents. Players like Gonçalo Ramos and João Felix need space to grow, and Ronaldo's larger-than-life persona can sometimes overshadow the team's collective development. On the club front, Ronaldo has been prolific in the Saudi Pro League, where he's found the net consistently. But let's be honest, the level of competition is not what it used to be in Europe's top leagues. While it's been great for extending his career, it also begs the question of whether this is the best way for him to maintain his legacy. Does scoring in less competitive leagues dilute the magic of his earlier years? And then there's the emotional side of it. Ronaldo is a relentless competitor. He's chasing perfection, trophies, and records, but at what cost? Watching him struggle in games where he used to dominate feels like a stark reminder that time is undefeated. Retiring now with his head held high could preserve the legacy he's built over nearly 2 decades. That said, this is Cristiano Ronaldo we're talking about. If anyone could defy expectations and keep delivering moments of brilliance into his 40s, it's him. The real question is, does he still have something to prove, or is it time to let the younger generation take over? Whatever he decides, Ronaldo's name will forever be etched in the annals of football history. Alright, moving on to Jamie Vardy, a player whose rise from non-league football to Premier League stardom is nothing short of legendary. But at 37, it's pretty clear that father time is catching up with him. The goals that once flowed so effortlessly have slowed down, and his impact on the pitch isn't what it used to be. While Leicester fans will always hold him close to their hearts, even the most devoted supporters can see the writing on the wall. Vardy's hinted at retiring before, but there's also talk of him possibly heading abroad to finish his career, maybe to a less demanding league like the Saudi Pro League. Either way, it feels like his time at Leicester is nearing its natural conclusion. And honestly, wouldn't it be better for him to step away now with his legacy intact rather than struggle to keep up in a league that's only getting faster and younger? This guy gave us that unforgettable title-winning season and so many iconic moments, but maybe it's time to let fresh legs take over. What do you think? Should Vardy call it a day, or does he still have one last chapter left to write? Let us know. Let's talk about Thomas Müller, the one-club legend who's been the face of Bayern Munich for over 15 years. With over 700 appearances and countless trophies, Müller has done it all. But even legends have to face the inevitable, and for Müller, the signs are becoming clearer. At 35, the pace of modern football seems to be leaving him behind. This season, there have been moments where it felt like Müller just couldn't keep up. Missed chances, slower reactions, and struggles in big games like those against PSG and Dortmund. It's tough to watch, especially when you know how vital he's been for Bayern's success. But maybe the time has come for him to transition into a different role, whether it's behind the scenes, in coaching, or as a mentor for younger players. Müller's contract runs until 2025, and it's hard to imagine him wearing another club's jersey. Retiring as a Bayern legend with his legacy untouched might be the perfect way to close this chapter. What do you think? Should Müller step away now and leave us with memories of his prime, or does he have a little more magic left? Let us know. Now let's talk about Luka Modric, the midfield magician who's defined elegance on the pitch for over a decade. At 39 though, even a player of his caliber can't escape the march of time. Real Madrid is transitioning to a younger core with Camavinga, Tchouaméni, and Bellingham stepping up, and Modric's minutes are becoming less frequent. That's not to diminish what he can still do. He's capable of pulling off brilliance, like his recent free kick for Croatia. But those moments aren't as regular as they once were. With his contract running until 2025, many are speculating if he'll follow in the footsteps of Toni Kroos and bow out while still regarded as one of the game's best. The legacy is there. A Ballon d'Or, multiple Champions League League wins, and a World Cup final appearance. He's achieved it all. Maybe it's time to hand the reins to the next generation and step away with grace. Or could he surprise us all with another year at the top? Either way, it's a question worth pondering. And there you have it. 7 footballing legends whose careers may be approaching their final whistle. From Gundogan's midfield mastery to Ronaldo's relentless pursuit of greatness, these players have given everything to the game. They've lifted trophies, broken records, and delivered unforgettable moments that will live on in football history. But as the saying goes, all good things must come to an end. Retirement is never an easy decision, especially for players of this caliber. It's about more than just stepping off the pitch. It's about preserving their legacies and making way for the next generation of stars. For some, like Luka Modric or Jamie Vardy, the time feels right to transition out gracefully. For others, like Kyle Walker or Thomas Müller, the call might be harder to make. And then there's Cristiano Ronaldo, who will likely write his own ending, defying conventions until the very last moment. What unites them all is the impact they've had on football. Whether they choose to retire now or push on for one more season, their contributions are already etched in history. As fans, all we can do is celebrate their greatness and look forward to the future of the beautiful game.